Hello, everyone. Don't know if my microphone settings are a little loud or not. Well, we'll have to see if I start peaking too much. But hello, since you're here. Guild Wars 1 stream. I'm not doing Vizina Square right this moment. I am, in fact, going to go check out Embark Beach. Guild Wars 2 is having its anniversary event right now, which means in Guild Wars 1 we have the Wayfarer's Reverie. It struck me, A, that this would be a very good idea to do. On account of, you know, stuff and things. But B, that my account probably has not gone far enough to actually really be able to... yes. Has likely not gotten... Where do I talk to for this? Let's see. I'm not sure if I can do it until I've actually beaten a campaign or not, or what's going on here. I mean, the fundamental thing is I realized this account couldn't fully complete Wayfarer Reverie stuff, because I'm pretty sure this is the one that takes you on quests all over the world. And this account has not. just straight up not done that. So, let me quickly double check how this actually works, because I don't remember, because it's been ages. Wayfarer's Reverie. Yeah, that's what I thought. Quests do not all need to be completed on any one character. Once per count per year, and the objectives can be completed in any order. Yeah. So what's the... Where do I get this from? Oh. Oh, okay. They're NPCs in towns. Okay, let's worry about my party later. Okay. I have not done this in a while, so I forgot how it worked. Hope everyone is doing well, by the way. I've been enjoying Guild Wars 2 a lot lately. Although, I've come to the realization that the buildcraft in that game is significantly more complicated and tedious than in this game. Because you have stats that you have to worry about. So you have to worry about, like, so many equipment slots. It's so much more fiddly. So you have your 3 trait lines, plus your weapons, plus, like, your armor and all of your trinkets and things. Now your relics and your runes. It's just so fiddly. There's so many moving parts to it. Anyway, I'm going to grab these quests. I'm not going to hit the right buttons, apparently. I am thinking about streaming Guild Wars 2 at some point in time here. Incidentally, I think this is probably in Xingye, if I had to guess. They liked to do things in Xingye. I will find out shortly if I was incorrect. I think I might have been incorrect. Okay, if I can see the bushes. Never mind, let's just go back to Kaining. I'm making terrible assumptions here. Actually, no, let's go to Commandant first, because I'm probably just... I don't know, I might do Vizina Square. Or try to do Vizina Square, and then worry about it. I need a festival coordinator, as I spin my camera around wildly and make people motion sick. Ah, here we are. Festival coordinator, Kuti. However these vowels are supposed to be pronounced. This is one of the terrible things about English, is we have, like, I don't know, 10, a dozen. We have a bunch of vowel sounds, but we only have 5 characters that we represent them with, which makes things needlessly confusing. Tsuru. I will take this. There should also be one up in the Eye of the North, now that I'm thinking about it. So let's go hit that up too while we're at whatever this is. Might be Hive North, might be, I don't know. It's very weird because festival enthusiast steer wolf-handed. If you had a wolf for a hand, would you like use its paws as fingers to grab things, or would it be a mouth that grabs stuff? What if you just had a full wolf for a hand? So, like I said, I don't expect to finish this by any stretch of the imagination now. On account of that just not being practical. I might... My scroll wheel's finicky. Scroll wheels are often finicky. Might be able to do this one. Visit the Wizard's Tower. That's in Sussex. Mausoleum and Majesty's Rest. That's where that guy is. Let's just go over to the Searing Crystal in Serenity Temple. Should be fairly reasonable to get through these. You know, heroes, not henchmen. Oh, good. All of these heroes are level 20. Because I'm a foreign guy coming in all foreign-like. It amuses me, so I'm going to grab Gwen. Elias, maybe not the best choice here now that I'm thinking about it. Let's grab Jin instead. This area is substantially flatter when we get to Guild Wars 2. Flattened by time. I don't know, there's definitely some interpretations of these areas where, like, it's a bit of a mixed bag. But it's another thing entirely. Do they even have any of these, like, face arches? I don't know. I don't remember. The good news is I have antidote signets, so moi. Unlike last time I was here, where I kept getting blinded and had no recourse, I can do something about it. Also, I'm hitting these guys like a truck, so, you know, there's that. It's a nice added bonus. Push in, get a nice screenshot with the heroes running around. Always have to think about your thumbnails, you know? You're uploading a VOD, you want some sort of thumbnail for it. This is how YouTube works. The thing is, you'd have to have some sort of, like, algorithmic best way of finding a thumbnail thing going on if you wanted to not use thumbnails. I don't know. There's an entire tiring discussion. At one point in time, YouTube, you couldn't do thumbnails. It would just use, like, the middle frame of the video, like just the very halfway point. So people would embed a thumbnail into the halfway point of their video and to get extracted as the thumbnail. It's the ancient lore. So anyway, you can now do, like, 2 thumbnails and it'll automatically A/B test them. I don't, because I don't care for making thumbnails that much. What I need is somebody who likes the stuff that I make and wants more people to see it and can take over any marketing responsibilities from me, a person who is terrible at marketing. My sensibilities for marketing are just atrocious, apparently. What is that? Yeah, I want the Wayfarer's mark. Spasmo Thunder... whatever his name was. Thunderbolt. Spasmo Thunderbolt. What a name. I don't think that's a name ArenaNet would use these days. Just going out there on a limb. It's not a very long limb. It's a pretty short limb. I don't know. You know, I got real lucky on that ID that it was high. Increased sales value. Sometimes you wish you'd brought Wild Blow with you. And that time is fighting Whiptail Devourers and their lightning reflexes. Let me tell you. Gwen is actually a less optimal choice than Vec, but feels more poetic. Haven't been up this way. Oh, you know what that means? I need to make sure I'm doing... Oh, huh. There's some argument that I should do this quest at this time. I am not going to bother with that. That would be entirely too much work. I don't want to just focus on this quest. That's weird. The reflections were doing wonky things, I felt. Oops, I got turned around. Hang on. I want the festival quest, not that one. I knew something felt off. It sounded like I heard gold coins dropping. Oh, there are gold coins dropping. Why the heck are gold coins dropping? I guess my heroes must have killed some. I mean, those are almost but not quite worth going back for. I have better things to do with my life. You have better things to do with your watch time. Watch me trudge through tar that makes you move 30% slower to go pick up some random coin drops. Gladiator boots are surprisingly intricate in their design. I think they're gladiator. Yeah, they are. Oh, that guy evaporated. We'll see how long it takes me to actually hit all of these points of interest. Getting your Rotscale's mausoleum area is going to be a little bit of a hike. Always is. Not sure how long I'm going to stream for. Probably until supper time. But I don't know when that's going to be. If it's going to be 6 or 7. I don't know if it's going to be in like 2 or 3 hours, basically. Got a big low roll on that one hit. Well, these guys are at least worth Wayfarer's marks. Say that about them. I'm glad that rumble isn't hopefully coming through the microphone. It doesn't look like it. Dad is running his Jeep, I think. Sounds like it anyway. He likes to go off-roading. Used to do that a lot with him when I was a kid, or at least regularly. It's a big grumbly down there. My room is over the garage, which is not ideal. The garage collects heat during the day and releases at night, and my room tends to get too hot. But anyway, it's not neither here nor there. As much as just kind of how things are. I wonder if I should be salvaging some of this armor to try to get materials. I'm not going to be very good at it, but... You get him, Jin. The Wizard's Tower. Okay, where's the best place to go to that? Temple of Ages, right? Give me that sickle. Yeah, I think TOA. I will salvage these. Minuscule amounts are still amounts. Okay, yeah, Keswick's Peak is down that way. I have Villainy of Galrath, right? Might be a Crichton quest. No, I just have reversing scales. Okay, let's make sure I stop in LA first. Then I want to make sure I pick up the Villainy of Galrath if I'm going to that area anyway. Whether or not Galrath is a villain or just misunderstood is another point of debate, but that's Guild Wars 2's issues. Galrath must be stopped. If he gains whatever secrets are locked within the Wizard's Tower in Keswick's Peak, gods be merciful, I know not who to trust within the Lion Guard. So many I thought beyond reproach are still loyal to him. I need an outsider to find Galrath and put an end to his villainy. You're the only one who has a chance of defeating him. Yeah, I'm not sure what you think he's doing or why he's a problem. I mean, for crying out loud, he has an entire sword attack named after him that I don't have. It's a good one. I should get it. But you know, that's neither here nor there. What on earth? I'll go talk to Audris the Outfitter. Right, and make sure I remember to put in some more characters. I don't remember what I do with Wayfarer's marks. I think there's somebody I can turn them into for stuff. Oh good, 9 plat. 9 whole plat. That's it's fantastic. Okay. TOA. I don't know where I don't know why I don't call it Toda. I've always called it TOA. Oh right, this is a just bring Elias, I guess. He doesn't feel optimal, but I want to get this rotting flesh off of him. Maybe Death Nova makes sense. Do I have other enchantment removal in this party? Yeah, I have Shatter. He already has that. I could give him Masochism. It does increase blood magic, or death magic, which is good. Yeah, let's just give him Masochism. He needs a superior rune as well, but I'll deal with that particular. Is there anything else I need to change? I mean, I need to get my elementalist further so I can get some friggin' air magic. That's something that needs to change. Not worth remove hexing that, but reed stalkers are being annoying. Oh, Milani, yeah. Okay, never mind. Hang on. Shut up about party size. You're wrong and incorrect. Thing. Okay. Forgot last episode. I don't know what I'm thinking. Get these things out of here. Signet Pice Light's great. Pice Renewal. Do I have Ermites? Yeah, let's go with that instead of Mystic. Cool and good. And Pious Assault. There we go. There we go. That's a bar. If I really wanted, I could take someone /P and give them the Signet. I was just looking at Vec suspiciously. Do I want to make Vec /Paragon and give him the Signet instead of a Resurrect? So I can mass remove enchantments or conditions from us. I don't know why I said enchantments when I meant conditions. Are these guys using friggin' Sympathetic Visage? Oh my goodness, they are. What am I supposed to do against such reckless hate? I wanted a weapon swap to a spear, but I don't have Arbalist on this character, so... Incidentally, I really like most of the spears as I've seen them in Guild Wars 2 thus far. Warrior Spear has a lot of references to Paragon Spear attacks, which I thought was cool. And there's a bunch of dagger references in Thief. Okay, hang on. Should be able to go over this way. That is not the button I wanted. That's the button I wanted. Frog. Sometimes frog. Cool. Signet of Weariness. No Chaos Storm. Okay, let's get this cleric out of here. Yeah, feels good to have Pious Renewal available from Melanian Mox now. And technically Kamu. I don't want to do the Northern Fighting Tournament on this character yet, but I kind of do want to try to get Zandra. Conundrums. Conundrums, I say. Northern Fighting Tournament is challenging. I'd rather not. Excuse me, I'd rather not deal with Reed Stalkers right now. Let's see if I can help it. Looks like I'm going to be able to, which is excellent news. Reed Stalkers are a bit tedious. We'll have to come back up here to go over to Majesty's Rest as well. I need to go over there to the Mausoleum. That's not until we've dealt with Galarath. Probably one of the more valuable, like highest value from experience standpoint quests. 4,000 experience just in base prophecies terms. That's a lot. I mean, it's even good by other world region standards, so that's how you know it's a lot. You can also find Verada here if you don't have the Galrath quest. He did some necromancer training in pre-searing and then betrays the order later. Makes a bunch of good minion skills though. So, you know, there's that. I'm going to tell you right now, Kessex is significantly less swampy in Guild Wars 2. Kryda in general is less swampy. Not swampy, but I feel like it's less swampy. Maybe I'm over-remembering how many swamps there are. or under-remembering, either way. I have just been spending a good bit of time in Kessex and Guild Wars 2 lately. Reed Stalkers. No, Sympathetic Visage, my nemesis. Sympathetic Visage, if you don't know, is part... Well, it drains your energy and adrenaline, but every time you hit them. But it was part of a really neat farm. So outside Harvest Temple, there's a bunch of Shidoken, and they use Famine. And that basically triggers every time they hit you if you have Sympathetic or Ancestor's Visage on. It's the same skill, because they did that. It's actually a really good idea that they needed to... Or an interesting idea that is maybe worth exploring a little bit more thoroughly. But anyway. The point I'm getting at is you'd put that on yourself with like a 55 type build. We used the 600 at the time. And then the enemies would mass attack you, trigger Sympathetic or Ancestor's Visage a bajillion times, and kill themselves off of their own Famine, which I thought was very clever. Okay. Could somebody please stop spamming clumsiness on me? Oh, there's two of them. That would explain it. Yep, that's the Visage going in there. Absolutely wrecking both my energy and adrenaline and Melani's energy and adrenaline, because, you know, we're both up there in melee. Also wrecking the minions, but the minions do not care. They are a bit better with masochism going on, though. Oh my goodness. You did have to do some positioning stuff in order to make that farm work, by the way, because you need to get next to casters and stuff. But it was quite effective. Most of the farms and farming techniques in this game have been kind of... Or a lot of them have been patched out over the years, not all of them. I remember getting into Griffin farming back in the day, and they patched that out with the whole Kefket Marrow Feast thing, and I liked how they worked lore into that, but I've told that story a ton of times, so... I still miss it, though. It was fun. I mean, I don't know if it still would be fun. I didn't even do it that much, realistically. It was just like a brief window while it was still available. But I remember it being really good for producing a lot of fun numbers, so... You know, take that as you will. Well, I'm just a swing behind on everything here, aren't I? Fen trolls. Now I'm wondering if the Guild Wars 2 swamps have enough trolls in them. An entire subspecies of troll. The Fen troll. killed by overhunting or something. That sky is striking me as really lovely right now. I don't know how much that had Milani running through it in an awkward way or not. Enforced Minotaurs. I was trying to think about Minotaurs and Guild Wars 2, and I was like, oh yeah, there's that whole Minotaur thing in the Wayfarer Foothills that I have all that nostalgia about. Are there Minotaurs in Kryta, though? Don't think I recall offhand. It's a lot of centaurs. I really emphasize the centaur thing. This is a Wendy's. I have not eaten at Wendy's very often. There's a lot of fast food burger places, though. How are you doing, Salty Grease? You're in your first legendary. Wow. I am not. Map completion is a whole thing, though. I did that once a long time ago on one of my characters. And it is a lot. You know, I will say it is probably a lot better now because you'd have access to mounts. Because I did it before mounts existed. Probably would have been before Heart of Thorns, if I had to guess. Yeah. All these wary stances. So wary stance is interesting in that it always blocks attack skills, but it doesn't block non-skill attacks. So you can auto-attack them, but it's unreliable to hit them with attack skills, which is kind of interesting. Of course, they also have Flurry, which cancels their other stance. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So I've gotten like all of those starter kits, I think. And have yet to, well, I need to open more of them, but get all of the other things. I've been really happy with the Wilds of Janthia Warclaw. I've been finding that one's really nice. But yeah, Skyscale is really helpful for getting around places. It saves you a lot of like awkwardly searching around ridges trying to find the way to get up on top of that one ridge. So you can, is somebody on attack now? So you can get on top of that one ridge for that one vista that's sticking in the middle of nowhere. I remember all sorts of frustrations trying to get to vistas back in the day, and now it's just like, oh, hop on your sky scale and whoop, you're there. And it's just much faster traversal just in general. I should hop into WVW. I haven't done it since way back in the day. And seems like there's a lot of really good stuff you can get through it. I don't have a problem with spirit shards, but... or at least I presently don't. I need Lucent Motes, because I want the legendary relic. Because that seems extremely convenient, especially since the relics are all like 10 to 20 gold. on the trading post for the most part. And just like getting relics is no joke. So I really would like the legendary relic, because that would be so much quality of life. I know it's absolutely ridiculous. The cost to get that is just absurd in terms of the friggin' moats. Like, I've actually almost I need more research things for the regents for the gift of research, but I'm pretty close to having that. I have both of the it's really just that the gift of relics things, the I forget what they call them, the things where you need just an absolutely absurd number of those moats. It's absolutely preposterous. So it's like they were looking at that and like, you know, we think people should have more reason to use these. Yeah, lucent crystals, that's it. It's just an excruciating number that you need. Yeah, that's it. And you need... The thing is, it wouldn't be so bad if you didn't need 25 Mystic Facets. And they're like 60 to 70 gold a piece, I think. It's not like I couldn't spare the relics. It's the lucent crystals that's the real problem. Because I have enough characters and stuff. Like, the relics I can cover if I'm going to be replacing all of my relics with the legendary relics anyway. Yeah, it's an absolutely absurd. Well, it's 10 times that, right? It's like... Because it's 10 motes to lucent crystal. And it's just absolutely bananas how many they want you to have. I should wait for some of these conditions to wear off. Yeah, so it's just like... It's like they were saying, oh, the trading post is absolutely glutted with these. Let's give them value. And I think that's basically what Arena does, is like, let's just give these value. But now it's just... It's not like they're that expensive anyway, but they are expensive enough, and it's more the just sheer quantity that you need. It's just truly absurd. Yeah, you can. Because you can trade in the mithrilium, etc. So you can get like 3 or 4 of those a day if you ground out all of the materials for the gated things. Hey, Galrath. I always find it funny that Galrath uses an axe despite the fact he has a sword skill named after him. I got Galrath's belt. Eh, he'll be fine. Hey, Wizard's Tower. Okay. I need to let first watch Sergio know. But we will worry about that later. The materials are like 80 gold. Yeah, I don't know. Quite possibly. My party is too large. My party is not too large. I left from here. I don't know what you're on. Do I need to clear out my inventory? Not yet, no. Oh, look at that. Beautiful actual quantities of crafting materials. I salvaged Galrath's belt. Actually, you know what? No, let's superior salvage this cane. The cane could have had... It didn't, but it could have had a steel ingot. Ooh, Vitae. Ooh, Vitae. I'm going to need to check the value of that one. Vitae is one of those runes that can sometimes be weirdly valuable. Salvage item. Salvages to 1 tanned hide. Very good, very good. I do need more wood eventually, but we'll worry about that later. It's a future me problem. I have been working very slowly on the... Do I actually have... No, this is better to go from if I'm going to be fighting Rotscale. I've been working on the dagger that needs the like shards of resolution or whatever, the claw of the Conqueror or whatever it is. But I don't even know what I need to get all the way there. I just know the exotic, I guess the precursor that I'm working towards. But I think the legendaries that I kind of want the most are like the trinkets and stuff. Yeah, those are just mostly huge mithril and elder wood sinks. I find it really funny. Last I checked, that mithril is like, or that iron is more valuable ore piece by ore piece than mithril in Guild Wars 2, just because of the way the economy works. Which functionally means that mithril is more common than iron in Tyria. I find that really funny, or at least in Guild Wars 2 times. But I need to build my ecto supply back up. I burned a bunch of it on making new gear for some of my characters. Yeah, it's because most of the game is like you're getting stuff that salvages out mithril or mithril harvesting nodes. But then you need orichalcum and ancient wood for all of your crafting, and so they give you a bunch of, I think it's tier 5 when you need tier 6. And so then they had to make uses for tier 5s, and it's a whole mess. I need to get all the way over to there. I need to remember how to go over to Majesty's Rest because I've been freaking going down to Dekudu in like this area so much rather than Majesty's Rest. I recently-ish played through Warren Kryda and it was just like, that's an entirely different direction. But yeah, getting legendary like trinkets and accessories and rings and stuff seems to me like, and relics and stuff, seems like the stuff that's a huge convenience. I'm not sure which one that is. Which legendary has those requirements? Oh. Yeah, I don't even know. I just know I've been kind of working towards the base thing. All of the legendaries are just enormous resource sinks, though. That's that you are getting convenience for your count by sinking a bajillion resources in it to get them out of the economy. It's all just a scam isn't the right word, but it's like it's just a big scheme. It's an economic manipulation scheme. Yeah, it's just a massive resource sink. Because, like, we gotta reward the players with stuff. And then it's like, yeah. And you see it in this game where it's like, they don't have stuff like that. And that has an impact on how the economy plays out, right? It's like, I totally understand why they do it. But it also just feels like they're put at such a ridiculous degree of grind necessary for them. It feels a bit ridiculous. It feels a bit too unapproachable is really what I mean. But then you kind of start making your way there. Maybe you'll get there eventually, sort of thing. These guys keep wanting to set me on fire and succeeding. It's like if the government decided billionaires are too rich, but instead of taxing them to get their money away from them, they're like, we're going to make some absolutely absurd, like, hey, if you want your own airport or something, I don't know, just something where it's like convinces them to throw all of their money at stuff. Yeah. I've just been focusing my resources on other stuff than legendaries mostly. Heh. I get you. Map completion is definitely a process. At least it's not literally every additional map ever added. $12 hours. That is impressive, frankly. It's probably using mounts to help speed it up too. Okay. Definitely gonna need to restore our resources some. A lot of degen and everything happening. Let's give everybody a moment to heal up. This might not go super smoothly, but I do want to kill Rotscale here. He might drop goodies, and therefore it's worth it. There's no reason to continue on this way. I wonder if it... No, it's best to go here with 8 people. Druid's Overlook would not be superior. I just dealt with that. And you put it back on me. Okay, I'm going to flag my heroes back here. And go forward and drag these guys. There's a spawn that happens in here, I'm like fairly confident, that can cause a lot of issues. I just don't want to be trying to fight Rotscale just yet. Statue of Balthazar. Good old Balthazar. Okay. How do we even want to... approach this? Yep. Okay. I think... Let's try to get this cleric out of here. You know, we're going to approach this by being extraordinarily dead. Just the deadest. Okay, that didn't go well. Yeah, there's definitely Guild Wars 2's aesthetic has gone to silly places, shall we say, in terms of its visuals. Guild Wars 1 is more grounded. Your player characters can get absolutely ridiculous in their flashiness in Guild Wars 2. Okay, okay. We're like, yeah, I don't even know when that smoke phantom spawn happened. I just know it happens somewhere when you go up there. I don't have enough experience with either Tarkov or Call of Duty to be able to confirm or deny that comparison, but it sounds probable. Come to me. Come to me. And stop spamming enervating charge. It's really not cool. Well, at least Quickening Zephyr is making my Signet recharge faster. So I can get rid of that enervating charge. Okay, how's everyone's energy doing? Variant. But yeah, Guild Wars 2, I was saying this I think before you got here, but Guild Wars 2, I've come to realize the build craft in that game is significantly more complicated because you have to be worrying about all of your equipment and your stat spread as well as your like traits and stuff. So you're not making as many skill choices, but I think the complexity of the skill system is less overwhelming than the complexity of, do I have all of the gear that I need for all of the stat spread that I need for my build? Where is... I want this and this. Okay. Time to go take damage. We should do better when we don't have a bunch of enemies sliding up our backsides. Ow. Rotscale just feasted corruption for a lot. They need to bring Rotscale back in Guild Wars 2. Just as a world boss. Yeah. It's like any given part of Guild Wars, there's just so many more moving parts to builds in Guild Wars 2. It's just Guild Wars 1, it's what is your primary profession, what's your secondary profession, what skills do you have in your bar, and what's your attribute spread. And there's a little bit with gear in terms of what insignia and runes are you using. But that's also and your weapons to some extent. But it feels significantly more straightforward than all of the moving parts. Cuz like in Guild Wars 2, it's like, oh, are you doing condition-based damage or are you doing physical-based damage, and then like what other things are you doing? And it just quickly spirals way out of control in terms of parts, and that's just gear, and there's so many more pieces of gear, and it's just so very much. Okay, so what we need to do is clear out this Necroid Horseman. He's making these minions that are getting in the way. There we go. No, not that. The Bowmaster. I might not be able to do this. I might just have too much death penalty and stuff. But I am certainly going to make an effort. Well, I almost got that one. I've cleared out more of the problems. But that's where like legendary equipment is so helpful, just because it lets you swap your stat spread around freely. And easily. As opposed to... At least I learned that there's multiple equipment tabs. That's a recent thing that I learned in Guild Wars 2. Oh, yeah. Yeah, screen clutter. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Because I think, like, Rotscale by himself isn't too big of a deal. But it's all these other guys that are giving issues. I know. Yeah, you can save a ton of inventory space that way. But then it's like, oh, but if I want to then slot all of the, or like fill all these out, that's another matter entirely. Okay. I want to get protections up. I want to get over to that Bowmaster. Okay, Bowmaster down. Why does this guy have so much health regeneration? Oh, I bet he used Troll Unguent. Yeah. Well, just me isn't going to be able to cut it. Okay, now it's time to begin taking out these rotting dragons. Probably not. Yeah, I know you can use the same items across them, but if you, like, weapons that you stick on one, you kind of have to, like, they are now in that instead of in your inventory, so if you want to use them, it's a little bit more of a thing swapping. It's not a huge deal. It's definitely a really nice system, and I definitely appreciate those equipment slot tabs. I wish they'd put them in the Wizard's Vault instead of template storage. But anyway. Okay, this might not be reasonable to try to do anymore. We might just have too much death penalty. I'll see how things go this time. If we're not able to take down a Rot Dragon at 60% DP, then I'll just move on, because it's just not worth the effort. I mean, I'm able to prop myself up really nicely, but... Hey, we got a Rot Dragon down. Excellent. It's excellent news. Lightning reflexes is a pain in the butt. Okay, we interrupted that, but now we're dead. Well, we got a Rot Dragon down. So I hope everybody enjoys death runs, because that's what it's going to take to get all of the rest of them down. Again, I feel like if we get them down, we can probably take Rotscale. Maybe. It'll be more reasonable to take Rotscale. As long as we're not dying on Rotscale once all the other dragons are down, I think it could be done. Hello, dream farts. So are your farts dreamy because they smell like roses? It is going very slowly at the moment because I have chosen to fight Rotscale, and I'm not really equipped to fight Rotscale, but I'm trying it anyways, and, you know, we killed a rotting dragon. So we're making progress. And then we wiped again. So yeah, just doing death runs on Rotscale. Trying to whittle down his support. Get my defenses up. Excuse your leg. Okay. Yeah, most of my party's dead. Quickening Zephyr, or not Quickening Zephyr, Lightning whatever the block thing was. You know what? We're able to get a Rotting Dragon per death run. That's good enough for me. We'll keep doing this and then hopefully get the rest of them down and then try out the big man himself. Level 30 Rotscale. I should bring him back for like Halloween in Guild Wars 2. Just have him be stupid. Just a stupid world boss. Hard mode? This account doesn't even have hard mode unlocked yet. It's definitely not prepared to do Rotscale on hard mode. It's not prepared to do Rotscale on normal mode. I'd realistically want a Soul Twist in here. Most likely. Okay, let's just go over this way. Good job, Vec. Not having QZ up would help so much. Ah. No, I died. Jin's in a bad spot for trying to fight this thing. I mean, Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 are two different games. I understand the reasons why. It is very awkward. I think Guild Wars 2 being called Guild Wars 2 is the fact that the games are presented as sequels when they are so separated from each other in many regards is a quirk of marketing, I guess. Mostly is what I'll say. I've been enjoying Guild Wars 2 at this point, but it took me years to come back to the game because I had so many issues with it initially. Yeah, everything's just different. I will say this, though. Guild Wars 2 lore makes Guild Wars 1 characters seem like just crazy overpowered. This is like, oh yeah, and here is a boss fight against the Mersat in which you are absolutely struggling, and we're just slaughtering Mersat by the bucket loads in Guild Wars 1. It's like, oh. I see. Drop that on Milani, please. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, this is proving to be rather untenable. You know what part of it is? Milani is a really important part of the damage, and if we're going to different dragons, that's going to be a problem. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to give this too many more tries unless I'm making progress again. I need to make sure we're all going after the same rotting dragon, so I need to make sure I'm calling targets, and just running in there was not an effective strategy. I'm going to call targets as I'm running up. Well, the problem is all of these guys can be one-shot by Rotscale. So I kind of need a Rotscale focus on me. I think. So I'll probably want to sprint in and make sure I'm calling a target. Or the 107 gold coins up there. Okay. Let's not die due to poisoning. There we go. Calling targets turns out to be clutch. Who would have guessed it? Rotscale, you are blocking me from getting over to your associate. I don't think we're going to take this guy down. Yeah, he has trolling going up. That's okay. It's okay. We made progress. That's what matters. That's what matters. And it's a question of, can we survive against Rotscale, specifically? It'll certainly be a lot easier without quickening Zephyr, making everything cost a bunch more. I'm being maybe a little overly determined here. Should have just run up there and moved on with life, but where's the fun in that? Random bird noise. I am back. Okay. Now it's just Rotscale. I doubt we're going to do it this time, me and Talcora, alone, by ourselves. Rotscale is extremely tanky. It hits like a truck. You haven't even made a dent in his health bar? That's silly. Well, the good news is we've gotten all of the ads out of the way, so it's literally just fighting Rotscale now. And we don't have to worry about any more of the nature rituals causing us problems, so that's also good. I'll see how this goes. I'm not really planning on giving a whole lot of attempts to Rotscale himself. Either we're going to be able to do it or not, and that I'm not going to like keep trying, just see if we get lucky. If I had more money with me, I could buy off this death penalty with Balthazar, but that's not happening. You're a friggin' idiot, Dunkoro. You don't know how to monk. When everybody needs healing like this, the most efficient way of doing it is with heal party. Well, at least there's nothing else for it but to just do it, I suppose. Okay, let's wait for everybody to get collected. Lonnie, I want you to give her a Prot Spirit as well. Yeah, if deafening roars on me, it's hopefully not on the back line. You need to keep an eye out. The main thing of concern is the Feast of Corruption. Him just spamming melees is not really a big deal. Okay, and then Desecrate Enchantments just ended everyone. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see. Anvil Rock is next on our list. I gave it a good shot, but I'm not going to keep trying to fight that. It's just not reasonable. His damage is too high for our health, and I wasn't going to be able to get rid of the death penalty, so. If we had Shelter, so we could actually survive Desecrate Enchantment, Desecrate, Defile, whichever one he uses. Enchantments, and actually, I think this way's better. And if we had and Feast of Corruption, then I think we could do it, but I'm not going to keep trying. I'm happy with the progress that I made there. I might kill him on this account at some future point in time when I actually am, like, have bars. And I'm not going in there with, like, no elite ranger and a prop monk with no elite and elementalist with no elite, you know, all that sort of stuff. My weapon isn't just a... Oh, I have a Furious mod on this. It's not a max one, but... And the chances that I actually get anything good from Rotscale are super low. Something good basically being his bow. Are there any references to Rotscale in Guild Wars 2? Did they retroactively make him a champion of Zaitan? Or somehow related to Zaitan? That would be interesting. Feels like the sort of retcon arena that would make. They love their retcons. It's understandable. They're a Panzer studio, not a plotter. And I admire their willingness to try stuff. And then continue trying stuff and building on what they've done. Even if it creates the absolute mess that is the Guild Wars 2 crafting system. Oh my goodness, that thing's a... How do you get a recipe? I don't know. Maybe you discover it. Maybe you find it. Maybe you have to go buy it from somewhere. Maybe you can buy it off the trading post. Maybe it requires a region-specific currency. Who knows? I'll tell you, the number of... Oh, right, the discovery system exists. Experiences that I've had in that friggin' game. Because you get later and everything's like, oh, you need to buy the recipe from somewhere. It just trips you up. It's wild. Going uphill. All the way up the hill. Come here, see Lieutenant Thackeray, you know. All that good stuff. Where's the moon? Oh, there's the moon. I think that's just a picture of our moon, isn't it? I don't even know. Hey, Milani. Vec. Getting a little Close there, eh? Guild Wars 2 crafting is boring. That's my problem. But hello, are you? How are you doing? I wish... Okay, so if I'm really gonna like talk deeply about Guild Wars 2 crafting, I think the best way that I'd summarize my problem with it is it sits somewhere in the space of between... Let's see, I need to get to Ventari's Refuge. Oh, I probably want to go /M here. The problem is it requires, like, the tiering system was a really bad idea, in my opinion. But it has this problem that it makes you sit around on all these little bars, and it's just a bunch of time-wasting boredom. And I would have preferred a system that required a slightly, or that did things slightly differently, where you could enjoy like some sort of minigame or have some sort of fun with some sort of minigame and have something work off of that. I don't know. I don't get the fantasy of crafting stuff yourself, and I think the Guild Wars 1 crafting system is way better. It's way less convoluted, way less complex, and it has a lot less weird finagling with things. So I much prefer the Guild Wars 1 crafting system. I think it's miles better. There's a lot of ways of getting Ascended gear at this point, especially with the Wizard's Tower. Or the Wizard's Vault. Okay. About the only Ascended gear I'm interested in crafting are the Aqua Breathers. Cause friggin' Aqua Breathers. It feels like underwater combat is such an afterthought in the game. And then... So I think the Guild Wars 1's crafting system is better because instead of... Like, you go to specific NPCs so they can lock recipes functionally by NPC location. So if they want to have things be regional, they can do it that way. And there's significantly fewer crafting materials. I think there's just way too many crafting materials in Guild Wars 2. To the point where it's just kind of silly. Okay, I'm going to want... Because I'm going to the falls, I'm going to want to make sure I'm doing... Do I have... do I have... No, I think I need to talk to... Yeah, it's just an absolutely absurd number of materials. Deep Root. Blood and Smoke. Right, it's a Megumi quest, not a credit quest. Ah, Prot Spirit and I will survive. Prot Spirit is a good skill that I already have on my other characters, or like unlocked. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, there's a lot of extra materials in Guild Wars 1 as well. It's not nearly as bad as Guild Wars 2, though. The thing I wouldn't mind some variety if it wasn't just like, oh, and then this is superior and completely outclasses this one. Like, part of the problem I have with Guild Wars 2's crafting system is it's just this, like, multiple tiers of the same thing, making the lower tiers completely pointless is just... it just feels very bloated. But yeah, there's a lot of materials that are hardly used. Spiritwood planks in Guild Wars 1 have functionally almost no purpose. It's like Nick Nick gift of like once every 3 years. So you know that's happened a total of like 4 times or something. Well, there's all the food and other things for consumables in Guild Wars 2. I do think the consumables are a problem, and if you ask me, I don't think Guild Wars... Like, I don't like consumable buff items in games, generally speaking. Because either you have to develop content around it, in which case you have to use them or you're underpowered, or you have to design content not around it, in which case using them makes you overpowered. And I think that's especially bad in Guild Wars 1. But yeah, the other place you use Spirit Wood planks in Guild Wars 1 is with the Black Moachik thing. You would think you'd use it for like Druid armor and stuff, but no. Mostly pointless material. Let's see, make sure I go down this way. Oh, I need to talk to Meltherin? Okay, he's over here. That shouldn't be a problem then. You wish to speak with Dark Oak. You're braver one than I. Yeah, I know. He's down in the falls. Alright, let's get these trolls off of Dunkoro. I really liked cooking as a crafting discipline because of the process of trying to figure out what recipes were. Once you got to higher tiers of it, it just became way too convoluted. But it was actually interesting instead of just being extremely formulaic. That's true. You can stack more types of consumables in Guild Wars 1. But Guild Wars 1 didn't originally have consumables. It was something added over time. And I think it was a mistake. I feel okay about summoning stones. But the various buff items, Armor of Salvation, etc., Essence of Celerity, all of the... Need to make sure I kill Drogo over there. Birthday cupcakes and all of those sorts of things. These things are going to be a problem. Yeah. There's the bloody heart that I needed. Yeah, I haven't played other MMOs particularly. I remember I checked out Neverwinter for a little bit. But that was very briefly and a long time ago. Right, I don't have that there because I am /monk for the quest reward. Probably didn't have to be. Oh well. You ever headbutt a troll to death? I also think the PvE only skills were to some extent a mistake. Particularly the like Asuran, Norn, Dwarven, like the non-class ones. I really like how Guild Wars 2 mounts work. There's some extremely good mounts, and they've done a reasonable job of giving them differentiation as well. Allow me to insert a rant about Tears of the Kingdom here. Friggin' both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have this problem with horses where they put a ton of work into making this like kind of absurdly realistic horse system, it seems like, because like they can pathfind for you and all sorts of stuff, but then they also make it so that way you want to get off of your horse to go climb this nearby cliff, and then you can't bring your horse with you, and you can't call your horse to you, and then it's just like, why did you make this horse that I then can't use? Like, most of the time. It's so silly. And the thing is, they had the solution to this problem. It's called Epona's Song, and it existed in Ocarina of Time. All the way back then, their first 3D Zelda game, they solved the problem. And like, to be fair, you can get teleporting horse armor in Breath of the Wild. I have no idea if you can get it in Tears of the Kingdom, because Tears of the Kingdom is arguably too big. So many spiders. Yeah, I have seen the Warclaw. The way that works from Wilds of Genthier. I've really liked it. I do feel like it kind of overrides the usefulness of the Raptor. But that's okay. Raptor still has its tail swipe that sucks enemies in and balls them up. There are so many spiders. Yeah, and like I said, they've done a fairly good job of giving distinct purposes to each mount. Even if the main ones I use are like, at this point, Warclaw, Skyscale, Griffin, and Skimmer. I don't really use the Jackal, like, at all. Every now and then for the sand portals. Scale. Oh yeah, the Sky Scale. I definitely use the Sky Scale more than the Griffin these days, but the Griffin is much faster at traversing vast distances, especially if you've got good altitude that you're starting from. So I like it for that. Skyscale is the most versatile mount, but I don't think it moves as fast as like the Warclaw or Raptor. That's how it feels. So it feels like it's a slower horizontal movement speed, but it's like versatility is top notch. I haven't unlocked my turtle yet. I'm like partway through the process. I just haven't bothered to go the rest of the way. I did finally get a couple of the Kanaksai weapons, though. Unlocking the Griffin was a huge accomplishment for me. And a massive money sink. Yeah, that's a good comparison. Oh. Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't looked into a lot of the module stuff with Jade bots, honestly. I just put on Recycler for Jade slivers and kind of left it at that. I don't have service chips. I don't know, whatever the second one is on like any of my characters. Yep, here come the spiders. Yeah. I need to finish unlocking the War Claws line in Wilds of Genthier. Because that would be helpful. Because that has the improved mount stamina recovery as well. Oh, sometimes I remember I have the beetle and bust that out for quick movement. But it just is like more recently something I acquired, so I just forget about it all the time. Good old Internet Explorer. It's been replaced by Edge now. Okay, let's get... What do we do? Fight centaurs. Where do we fight them? Everywhere. Get stabbed. Okay, Spirit Symbiosis I don't care about. Dark Oak, I need to talk to you about this thing's heart. Yes. I see a great beast, a great cat, a lion. This lion hungers. He is devouring the forest, the entire forest, nay, the entire world. A host of gleaming angels. No, not angels, but birds, carrying birds, bright and terrible as the sun. Accompany this lion. All falls before his hunger until naught is left but bitter ashes. That is all I see. Yeah, the white mantle and Limersot. Okay, time to continue deeper to get to the falls. Oh, you know what? I can probably talk to Vec also. Maybe? Can I talk to Vec? I have this Golem user manual. I don't know. Hopefully I can talk to Vec. Or Vec? Zim. I don't know why I said Vec when I meant Zim. Zim? Zin? Zin. Boy, I am just getting all kinds of everything wrong. Healing Seed really, really put in work there. It's not just armors, but armors are a huge part of it. If they could make more races that used basically an existing model, but just kind of modified it a little bit, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But it's already huge developer burden to make all of the different armor sets for all of the races that they have, even though they can kind of reuse 2 or 3 of them. But they also need to have... If they added a new race, they would need to record VO for all of the same thing, so it would add an additional VO burden, which is absolutely enormous. That's a huge cost. And they would have to like figure out how to do core story, at least up till Order Neophyte. for them, which is also a bunch of additional work. And then it wouldn't integrate as well because like all of the stories and core like are most of them like introduce stuff that shows up later. So I mean, there's all sorts of problems with foreshadowing and stuff being like foreshadowed in one storyline and not the other and things like that. But like, I know people really want to have Tengu be playable, but what would be required to make Tengu playable is just a lot. Because the thing is, it's not like they have a starting region that any of the classes could be from where they could just like recycle a bunch of stuff. It's like, no, they would need to kind of having joined your order, they'd have to have something unique. And then they'd have, like, if they added Tengu, okay, how does that interact with stuff? The best way for them to do it would be to basically have it be, yeah, you can't do the story before this part of the story. But I think a lot of people would be very unsatisfied with that. Yeah, and then it adds a burden going forward and making everything work with them. It's just the game would have to make astronomically more money to make that. It would have to make them a ton of money to add that playable race in to make it worth it from a financial standpoint. I mean, you're also talking about the X packs as well. But I get it. Like, I get why people want it. And in a world where money was no issue, I think they probably would. But yeah, it's like going back and doing all the voice acting is just a huge... And then permanently adding that voice acting burden. No, I get you. But the thing is, what would be the difference, right? It's purely aesthetics, not gameplay. Because none of the... they don't want there to be a mechanical difference between any of the races. But see, when you're talking about more combat animations, that's increased cost and burden of making them, right? I think I need to go over this way. So, like, it would be way more interesting to add new races if your race meant something in the game, but it just doesn't. Aside from some story elements and, like, some utility skills and elites that you're never going to use because they're just super weak. And meant to be. Like, maybe you'll use them briefly early game before when you're low level, before you've unlocked much. It's like all those people who got the Mist Wolf summon. It's like, oh, this is never going to be as good as your class elite. Your professional elites. And the thing is, like, even before they think about doing that, what I'd want them to do is I'd want them to go back and look over base class elite skills, because I feel like a lot of those are underwhelming compared to elite spec elite skills. And there's like if I look at all of the elite skills, it's like there's usually only one base class elite skill that I feel is worth using most of the time. The rest of them, maybe two. And it's just like, I wish more of these felt more worth using. Yeah, like when you first unlock elite skills at like level 31 or whatever it is. And it's like, yay, I did it. And like you're human and it's like, oh, I can summon the Hounds of Balthazar. That's really cool. Too bad that is just not very good. Or like the Char one where you can summon your warband. Seems like it would be really cool. And then it's just, why are you bothering with this? And like Guardian has had so many elites reworked that it actually feels like most of the core Guardian elites are actually pretty decent. Because they had those tomes that like functioned kind of like a engineer kit that got reworked completely. They were cool. I liked the idea. They were kind of clunky, though. I actually want to go kill this root behemoth, because these guys can drop a totem axe, and that could be kind of nice to have available. Okay, we need to focus these life pods down. They're way more vulnerable, and they are keeping that thing alive. Well, the tomes got replaced entirely, so it's not like you... Not like you're going to be doing anything with them. But that's why I feel like Guardian's core elites are a lot more interesting. For Ellie, I almost always... If I'm using the core elite, I'm almost always just summoning the elemental. Sometimes I'll look at the great sword, the fire great sword, and be like, that's cool, and use it, and then I'm like, eh. But the problem, by and large, that I have with most of the, particularly the core elite skills, is that they were designed on MMO Ultimate philosophy, or not MMO, on MOBA Ultimate's philosophy, which is from Warcraft 3. But that philosophy, but it like doesn't make sense. The Elementalist elites are so bad. I feel like all of them are underwhelming. I haven't tried the Catalyst yet because I haven't gotten there on my Ellie, because I have problems with most of the Ellie weapons as well. I really like Ellie's spear, so I'm glad I finally have a weapon where I'm like, oh, I actually like all of the elements on this weapon. Because before it's like, well, I like fire staff, and water staff is sometimes useful. And I did not care for air staff very much. And I didn't like most of the Ellie weapons. It's like too inconsistent in terms of things too. But I really like Ellie's spear. I've liked spear overall quite a bit. On the characters I've played on. But yeah, Elementalist elites are just like, they just all have felt so terrible. But yeah, I wish they weren't designed like an ult in a MOBA or Warcraft 3. Because MOBAs were born in Warcraft 3 with Dota. I mean, Aeon of Strife before that. And they just used the same like skill layout setup that Warcraft 3 used with its heroes. Ooh, a Monster's Claw. That's good. So yeah, I feel like with Ellie, I try out various elites, and I'm like, these all feel terrible, and then I just go back to summoning the elemental, because having the distraction is really nice. Okay, let's see if I get killed by Wind Riders here or not. I don't know where they're going to patrol. They're kind of squirrely. That's not ideal. These guys will kill you because... Hang on. Oh, I have to have Mox with me, and I have Milani instead. That was a big Silly oops. Mineral springs? Oh, we going capping. Okay, well, I've done all that I needed out here, so let's go back over here. Where are you? There you are. Thank you. I will survive. What do I want to be capping there? Flourish and... Shield of Judgment's the Monk Elite. That doesn't do anything immediately for me. Well of Power, I can get an aptitude elsewhere more easily on a character that needs it more. Well of Power is not a bad choice on Warrior. Practice Dance is garbage on Warrior. It's niche on Ranger. Yeah, I don't... Shield... I could see using Shield of Judgment. That's the thing. There's other spots to potentially capture that when I theoretically bring this character into Winds of Change. And it's not immediately useful. I don't have Necro Elites anyway. Let's get Talcora and Olias in here. So just having access to it would be good. So let's see. So I'm going to be getting Flourish, Practice Stance, Ineptitude, Well of Blood, Shield of Judgment, and Glyph of Energy. I'm not going to use Glyph of Energy on this character either. I think I want to go /Necro and capture Well of Power. That seems the most reasonable to me. I'm going to drop that and just keep that on. No, wait, I can't. Never mind. I want to keep Whirlwind Attack. I do like having Interrupt available. Okay, I need to... I'm going to just go to my guild hall and buy a couple Signals of Capture. Use up a huge number of funds. It's fine, though. Oh, speaking of funds, I need to check Vitae right now, because as far as I know, it's valuable. Vitae. Okay. That was a lucky drop. Yeah, give me my... That covers the Sickness of Capture. I'll salvage that. I should have expert salvaged that, actually. It might have gotten me a Bolt of Silk. Okay. Merchant. I would like to sell these things. Need an ID kit. My current one's almost busted. This I don't need anymore either. I'm going to salvage this for cloth, though, because I'd rather have the cloth. Okay, we're doing okay otherwise. Let's hit up Skill Trainer. Lots of great skills for me to get later on other characters. Okay. Right then, this will be a little bit of a trip, but it'll be good to get Well of Blood for Olias to be able to use that. I like Blood Ritual and Jinn because expertise actually decreases the cost of it. Is there anything else I need to do before I head over? I don't think so. I need better gear. How much is for sure? Okay, we can aggro everything, that's fine. See if I care. Let's see, what's the last location I need to go? Ruined statues in the arid sea. I don't know why they put this one first. It doesn't really matter, but it is kind of strange. I kind of wish I had a bowls right now. But, well, it's fine. Well, that's one way to interrupt them. You guys, stop making minions. That's our job. Okay, just some random bone fiends. Good. Yeah, I think I can smell supper, so I'm probably not going for much longer, but I would like to finish up this branch at least. The 2 plat 2005 experiences, because this is the year the game came out, and then 2 plat, or 2012 gold for the year Guild Wars 2 came out. I would very much like to finish this before I wrap up for the day. Unfortunately, I can't really do any of the other parts. Here comes the giant stomp, because I don't have the enough of the maps uncovered. But it's just how it goes. I'm not going to be streaming enough during this event to uncover that much of the game. Okay, no, this jerkwad. No, where do you think you're going? You're plague touching, that's what you're doing? Is that what we're doing here? Plague touching now? Deep freeze. Yeah, there's the big slow. No, no water trident. I need a better resurrection skill. I remember back before these were PvE only skills and you could have a full skill bar of signets of capture. There was literally no reason to do that, but you could. Can't think of... Even Perdition Rock, maybe there's like 6 elites for you, possibly? That would be the one map I could think of as being most likely to make that useful. I remember vanquishing this map once and having the Tengu that run in at the end over there, near Mineral Springs entrance, getting stuck on a chest that was outside the portal and being unable to finish the vanquish. That was terrible. I don't know if that was on stream or not. There are so many videos of this game on my YouTube channel in the VODs area. It is a lot. I don't know, in terms of just like raw number of VODs of this game, I don't know who has. I have a lot of this game being played. I have a lot of telling the same anecdote over and over and over again. It's great. Hello, Avocaro Fierce. It's still fascinating to me. If you look at the analytics for my slow playthrough, the first VOD of my Guild Wars 1 Prophecy slow playthrough, it has the curve that you never see but always want to see, where it's just continuing to accrue views like at a faster and faster rate. It's wild. It's 4 years later, it's easily my most popular video in terms of like ongoing view rates. It's still, I think it might have my most watch time. It's still playing catch up in terms of total number of views with the Dark Souls 2 video I did on the world and level design. I don't know why people like that particular part as much as they did, but they did. Yeah, I'm not going to fight all of those guys. I'm just going through the zone portal, and I'm going to fight them over here. It's not actually the same birds, but... people want to play Tengu. Me, I have bad memories of the Tengu right here. Being jerks. Are there many enemy Tengu in Guild Wars 2? I don't know. There's a lot of them in this game. Spatha doesn't scare me. Acolyte Jin, what happens to you? Okay. So I have 3 objectives in this map. I need to get to the Ancient Temple of Lissa, and I need to find the Necromancer and Warrior bosses. It's kind of a big donut-shaped map in many regards. Flourish is definitely a niche skill. I think Flourish is better on Ranger and Assassin than it is on Warrior, but... because they have more energy skills that could benefit from the recharge bonus. Mostly. You could probably use it on a dagger warrior. But warrior's endurance is so good, and why would you not just use the dagger spam skill, in which case it's basically useless because it's an 8-second recharge to flourish. I've always loved how bright this map is, though. I like bright, sunny, snowy days. I like snow. I hope we have more snow this year. I don't recall having, like, any snow last year. Which is economically good, I suppose, but... because where I live, things really shut down when you get a lot of snow. But winter without snow is just sad. And I mean that in both the emotional and conditional senses of, like, seasonal affective disorder. Having snow on the ground helps a lot. I believe that's the Mesmer boss. Wit Sharpfeather. I will take a gander, but that name feels very Mesmer. Yeah, it looks Mesmery. Well, it's not green or yellow, so that's all I really care about. I don't think there's another boss over that way. Just a dwarven house. Do they even have... They use practice stance, but do they even have a... Oh, they have ignite arrows. Okay. It's not really worth using practice stance. I think even if I had it unlocked, I would not be putting it on Acolyte Jin. Because it just doesn't do enough. It's basically only good for choking gas. It was good with incendiary arrows before that got changed, but I mean, that's double elite, so you have to use mesmer copying things to make that work. Kind of work. I think new incendiary arrows is better than old incendiary arrows anyway. Just in a variety of ways. I kind of want to go on a Ring of Fire and get Shield of Deflection, but that's not a huge priority. I just have a huge soft spot for Shield of Deflection. It's just a very cool spell in my opinion. Getting the wood out of that. I always think of Raven Staffs as having a lot of wood in them for some reason. I don't think they especially do, but I do want to be salvaging a lot of the things out here because it's going to be better material supplies and I need materials. I don't remember if there's a boss down there or not. Doesn't look like it. Some minions are fighting some guys. I don't care. Sir Honor Crest. Okay, that one is the warrior one, so I'll be getting that soon. It's not bad. It doesn't do a whole lot for me right now, but ow. Okay, there's a Ardent. I want the Ys down. These casters in general I want down. Ineptitude. And I just hacked through it. This is why I want the Ys down, because they spam Ineptitude, and it's a problem. Ooh, armor. Yes, please. Okay, some iron ingots. Okay. Elite 1. Flourish unlocked. Who am I going to put that on? I don't think I have anyone I want to put it on right now, but I'm expert salvaging those because in case I get the other thing. There's another boss spawn up there. We'll see who I get. Got myself 6 energy back. Nice. Yeah, if Flourish had a faster activation time and or a lower recharge, it would be a lot more useful. But anyway. Barrel Darkroot. I don't know what you're doing over there or what you want. Wait, what? I'm going to be honest, was not expecting Burial to be a woman's name, but that's what it is, I suppose. Decent recurve. Well, you enjoy hanging out here in the cold in your, minimally thick clothes as I run around in a bare midriff, right? Ah, video games. Weather need not apply. Unless it does. But then somebody made it apply. These tundra giants are going to be a massive pain in my falling over. Yep, here it comes. Who's ready for Giant Stompapalooza? I like that their build includes Crushing Blow because of Giant Stomp. Oh, and Earthshaker. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be... Someday I will get up to this guy and hit him. I got there, kinda. No. Somebody explain to me why Acolyte Jin keeps dying specifically. Oh my goodness, this is getting absurd. These guys have an ability called Stun on Crit or something like that, which basically means they knock you down when they critically hit you. Pretty sure. And so, like, it's very, very easy for them to knock you down. Could you imagine how busted of a sigil that would be? In Guild Wars 2, whenever you critically hit, knock down a foe. That'd be so absurdly broken. Hey, there's a steel ingot. Justified. Nile Darklaw, that might actually be the one I want. So I've gotten very lucky. There's like 2 more bosses up this way, I think. So I think it's like 1 there. There's like 3 or 4 this way and then like 2 or 3 the other way. So I've gotten kind of lucky that the 2 bosses I wanted are available. This is an awful, awful, atrocious backline that I hate. And the Ineptitude. Grimsesta. Hi, I'm not going to attack through Ineptitude. That would be a bad idea. Didn't manage to interrupt that. Get my energy back. Hey, Flourish did something. What do you know? Well of Power. Online. Okay. Now all I need to do is fight through a bunch of ice imps. So, you know, that's gonna go swimmingly, I'm sure. Should drink some water. There we go. Hydrated up a bit. I'm going to throw my spare attribute points into Blood Magic, because I might as well. It still gives you base 2 energy regen regardless. If I get an Icy Dragon Sword, by the way, I will be both happy and slightly annoyed, because I've killed these Ice Imps so many times on my... Oh, holy moly, look at that view. Dang, I love that view. Okay, well, that's probably the thumbnail now. I was thinking it was going to be something inside, but nope. Nope, that just happened. Yeah, enjoy a well of power. That's just such a majestic view of the Shiver Peaks. Like, how could I not love it? Okay, I should save some amount of corpses for my Necromancer to make minions out of. Looking at energy bars, I don't want to rush in without energy bars being somewhat higher. Well, I guess some avocado won't be too bad, but... Oh, that was good to see. How's Gale doing its job? Oh, I admit, I'd rather be the one dropping the wells of power over my opponent. There. I don't want to restore a bit of energy to everyone else. Yeah, look at that. It's helping Talcora. Well, okay, it ran out. But it... No, she ran out of it. Okay, now it's run out. Okay, I'm going to stand here, let some energy regenerate, but more importantly, let my resident minion master some minions, as it were. Oh, I got a staff wrapping of shelter. Minimum strength. Nice. Highly salvageable. Water staff. Yep, that was highly salvageable. How many... Hang on. 52 wood planks from that. That was excellent. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up this quest, and then it's going to be supper time. That is the goal. Oh, there's also a resurrection shrine right there. So the southern path is just better to go on because of that. Maelstrom is going to be a problem. Thankfully, we have a bunch of minions to... Okay, we have a minion to distract them. Ow. Yeah, okay, that's not happening. Oh my goodness, that was... Shield of Absorption was a little late there. I appreciate the effort, though. These guys are so nasty because deep freezing you into multiple maelstroms is awful. Okay, let's let everyone get their energy back. No Icy Dragon Sword drops, so that's fine. I describe this as the Ancient Temple of Lissa in Mineral Springs. Okay, did I... Yeah, okay, now I just need to visit ruined statues in the Arid Sea, which is going to be a bit of a trek in and of itself, but that'll be a trek for a different time. Dunes is the best place to go to there from, so we'll go to Dunes. My skill bar needs repair. So let's do a little bit of skill bar repair. Antidote Signet. What skills did I have on the end? Shield stance. Yeah, I'm happy for that. Okay, so I've been informed that for food's ready, so I am going to drop some stuff off in storage and wrap up the stream here. But it has been a fun couple of hours. Yeah. Oh man. Look at my tan hide. It's all the way over 28. Nope, my mom. I am not married. Not yet. But thank you all for watching. I hope you had fun. I had fun. So I do want to come back and like finish at least this quest and maybe some more. So should hopefully be on soon. We'll see when that is. But yeah, until next time, everyone, take care and goodbye.